The timetable board flickered like a dying insect as he stood under the harsh fluorescence of Platform 9. The wind that blew through the tunnel carried the smell of damp concrete and iron. The last train to Harrow's End, if the digital sign could be trusted, was due in 3 minutes. He checked his watch. 11:47 p.m. He had missed the 11:30 by only seconds. Typical. The night had been long already, filled with awkward drinks with coworkers and the growing sense that everyone else's lives were moving forward while his was stuck on pause. When he stepped off the curb outside the pub, rain started to fall in hard, precise drops, as if the sky itself had chosen him for punishment. So here he was, waiting for a train to nowhere, soaked, half drunk, and more alone than ever. When the train arrived, it came out of the tunnel without a sound. No screeching brakes, no rumble through the tracks, just a whisper of motion, like something gliding. Its headlights glowed pale and cold, illuminating the platform. In ghostly white, the doors hissed open, releasing a gust of stale air that smelled faintly of ozone and rust. Elias stepped inside. The carriage was empty. Not just empty, too empty. Even on late trains, there were usually a few other souls. A tired cleaner, a dozing drunk, a night shift nurse scrolling through her phone. But here, every seat was bare, the windows dark, the overhead lights buzzing faintly as if trying not to wake something that slept between the walls. He hesitated, then chose a seat near the middle. The doors shut behind him with a soft pneumatic sigh. The train lurched forward, smooth as silk. He pulled out his phone to check the time again. 11:52. No signal. Of course not. The underground had always been a dead zone. Still, he found himself staring at the little icon, waiting for a bar to appear, as if connection, even digital, could make him feel less alone. Outside, the tunnel walls slipped by, gray and endless. He could see his own reflection faintly in the window. Tired eyes, a 2-day stubble, the loose tie of a man who'd stopped caring how he looked hours ago. For a moment, he caught movement behind him in the reflection. A flicker, a shift of shadow. But when he turned, the carriage was empty. He chuckled under his breath. "You're just tired, mate," he muttered. But as he turned back, he saw something else in the glass. A face sitting 2 rows behind him. It was faint, almost transparent, like the reflection of someone sitting on the opposite side of the train, though there was no one there. The face was pale, its eyes wide and unblinking. Elias froze, heart thudding. Slowly, he turned his head. No one. The seat was empty. He exhaled, forcing a laugh that sounded too loud in the still air. Jesus, get a grip. The train rattled slightly, a rare shudder. The lights flickered once, twice, and then steadied. He thought he heard footsteps, soft and measured, moving down the carriage toward him. But when he looked, nothing stirred. He was alone. Again, he tried to recall the route. Harrow's End was supposed to be 3 stops away, but he hadn't heard any announcements. No automated voice, no display board lighting up with station names, just the steady hum of the train and the faint electric buzz above. After what felt like 10 minutes, he began to feel uneasy. The train wasn't slowing. There were no tunnels opening into platforms, no flashes of light through windows, just darkness, continuous, featureless black. He checked his phone again. Still no signal. 12:06 a.m. Had it really been that long? He stood, walked to the nearest door, and peered through the small glass pane into the next carriage. Empty. The next set of doors beyond that, also empty. The lights stretched on endlessly, white and sterile, like a hospital corridor. He turned back and froze. A man was sitting in his seat, the same seat Elias had just vacated. 2 rows behind, he was dressed in a dark overcoat, collar high, face hidden in shadow. The man's hands were folded neatly on his lap, motionless. Elias blinked, heart slamming against his ribs. "Hey!" he began, but the words stuck in his throat. The man didn't move, didn't breathe, didn't even blink. Elias took a slow step forward. You all right, mate?" The man's head tilted slightly, just a fraction, as if acknowledging him. Elias stopped, throat dry. He could now see the man's skin. It was gray, mottled like paper that had been soaked and dried again. The eyes, when they lifted, were wrong. Too wide, the pupils dilated to near blackness. Then the train lights flickered again, and in the half-second of darkness, the man was suddenly closer. 2 rows closer. Elias stumbled back, heart hammering. No, no, no! He blinked, and the lights steadied again. The seat was empty. His own reflection stared back from the window. But now, behind his reflection, something moved. Just at the edge of the glass, a figure standing in the aisle, motionless. Watching him, Elias turned sharply. No one. He laughed again, the sound ragged. "You're losing it, Granger," he muttered. "You've just had too much to drink." But deep down, something cold was spreading through him. The air felt heavier, thicker. Every breath was a little harder, and beneath the mechanical hum of the train, another sound began to thread through, soft and distant, like whispering. It came from everywhere and nowhere at once, words too faint to understand, but full of shape, of intent. He could almost make them out. Then, from the far end of the carriage, a door slammed. Elias spun. The door to the next car was closed, but he had heard it, a definite metallic bang, as if someone or something had just stepped through. He backed toward his seat, pulse racing. Somewhere in the darkness beyond the glass, something was moving toward him.